Episode 6, Economics and Financial Literacy. You're poor because they're ignorant. Why are you broke while Congress gets richer every year? Good question, right? Because people writing our economic laws don't know how the economy works. No, really, many of them can't even define inflation, confuse the national debt with the deficit, and talk about budgets the way a toddler talks about money, loudly and without a clue. If they were in high school, they would fail. But because they wear suits and smile for the camera, we call them distinguished. And while they fumble through trillion-dollar decisions, you're left picking up the tab, paying more for rent, food, gas, and basic dignity. Economics isn't sorcery, it's just a system. Built, manipulated, and maintained by policy. But too many lawmakers don't know how that system works. And when you're steering the economy and you can't read the dashboard, people crash. They pass tax cuts without understanding who benefits. They panic over inflation and have no idea what causes it. They vote on student loan policy without grasping what compound interest does to a $30,000 debt over 20 years. It's more than embarrassing. It's dangerous. These are the people shaping your paycheck, your retirement, your rent, and they don't even understand the basics. We don't test them. They have no requirements. Anybody walks through that door and it's theirs. Part 2, their mistakes, your bill. Let's break it down. Inflation? They'll say it's because workers are making too much money. But study after study shows that it's largely driven by corporations because they can, not because they have to. Minimum wage? They argue that raising it will kill jobs. But decades of real-world data shows that that's not true. What it does kill is poverty. Debt ceiling? They treat it like it's a personal credit card limit. And it's not. It's a bookkeeping formality that, when politicized, threatens global markets and retirement accounts. Taxes? Many of them don't know the difference between a marginal tax rate and an effective tax rate. But they'll still vote to slash taxes for billionaires while calling it relief for working families. Man. Meanwhile, housing prices skyrocket, wages stagnate, and then they act like it's our fault for not working harder. Part 3, what they should be required to know. If you're going to pass laws about the economy, then you should understand it. It's not radical, it's just responsible. Every single member of Congress should be required to pass a simple economics test. Not a PhD, just Economy 101. Here's what that should include. Supply and demand. Yes, really. Causes of inflation beyond wages. How interest rates affect mortgages, loans, and credit. What the Federal Reserve does and doesn't do. Corporate price setting and monopoly power. The basics of the U.S. tax code. Labor markets and wage stagnation. The difference between deficit and debt. If you don't understand how GDP works, then you shouldn't be voting on economic policy. You shouldn't. Part 4, follow the money, or the lack of incentive. Let's be honest. Some of this isn't ignorance, it's willful. If you understand that trickle-down economics is a proven scam, you can't keep pushing it. Unless, of course, you're being paid to. If you know that slashing public school budgets reduces future productivity, you'd stop doing it. Unless campaign donors tell you otherwise. Some politicians choose to stay economically illiterate because the truth would make them accountable. And accountability is bad for business. No, you don't want that. That is not public service. That is careerism disguised as leadership. Part 5, this is why it matters now. We are living in a nation where 64% live from paycheck to paycheck. Homeownership is out of reach for many young adults. Household debt has hit record highs, and real wages have barely moved in 40 years. Meanwhile, Congress treats the stock market like a health meter, and corporate profits are like divine intervention. We cannot afford leaders who think that the Dow Jones is the economy. We need people who understand how policy shapes poverty, inequality, and opportunity. Because ignorance in office doesn't just cost money, it costs lives. Part 6, call to action. If doctors need degrees and teachers need credentials, why do lawmakers get a pass? Why? Why have we been doing this? Before you write laws that control people's financial lives, prove you understand how money works. Take the test, pass it, and then write your policy. If they can't do that, they should not be making economic decisions for 330 million people. So here's your job. Tag your reps and ask them, can you pass an Economy 101 exam? If they dodge the question, then they've already failed. Because if they don't understand economics, then they have no business writing laws about it. If that level of ignorance shocks you, wait till you see what they don't know about the planet. Next time, we're asking, if you don't understand the planet, then you don't vote on it. Because there are people in Congress right now who believe that wind turbines cause cancer and that winter disproves climate change. And these people are voting on water and food and energy and disaster response. It's not just dumb, it's deadly. Let's demand better. Let's get qualified or get the hell out of the way. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for your views, your subscriptions, your comments. I really appreciate seeing you guys here. I think this is a really important topic, and I will either see you in the next video or I will see you in the comments. Thanks again, guys. We'll get through this. Bye.